our congregation and in society today, there's a need for every kind of skill and every kind of work of mercy that needs to be addressed.
It's not so much the what we do, but I believe it's the how we do it and the why.
If you're a secretary, we can use you because you would be supporting the work of other people. Wherever one sister is, she brings all of the congregation.
Some people just need to know God's love. Some of them just need to talk. Some of them just need to know how to find the answers within.
One of the needs that have surfaced certainly are working with youth. There's the whole development and working with laity and empowering them to be ministers and to take their place in the parishes.
One of the most valuable things that our sisters do today is pastoral services that they render to those who are dying, to those who are sick, new mothers, the poor. We work in food banks and with the homeless.
We have sisters who are involved in work with refugees, helping them in settlement or very often in court cases, being real advocates for them.
There are just so many things to be done that we wish we could clone ourselves.
Even if there is something that a sister is not involved in presently, the congregation is usually very open to allowing new things to happen as well.
Young women have much to think about when it comes to planning all the aspects of their coming lives as adults. As Catholic women, they see these decisions as keystones to their sense of vocation, a calling towards a profession, perhaps marriage and motherhood. For some women, another set of goals may be involved as potential members of a religious community.
First of all, I'd like to welcome each of you to our gathering today, and I'm very grateful that you will have an opportunity to take a look at the small brochure that we do have on Sisters of St. Joseph, and would like to really engage with you in conversation on the kinds of questions that you might have.
Okay, this is a question just in general. I was just wondering what made you decide that you wanted to be a part of this group? Like, did you get a special sign, or like, did you always knew from inside that you always wanted to become a sister?
I was wondering what age would be a good age to start if you were interested in becoming a sister of St. Joseph.
Well, in my part, it's kind of a late vocation for me. I saw their ad, like it says, women, single, 18 to 45, who would want to know about another viable option of life. I said, oh, wow, they're waiting for me because I'm in the later part of that age group. I drove a sports car and all these things was within at my fingertips. But there was something lacking, like there was a need that's not being fulfilled.
Do you like being sisters, and if so, what is it about being a sister do you like?
Once you experience that event or that sign, how do you go about to become a sister?
Who do you turn to when you need spiritual guidance or your faith falters at a particular point in your life?
In marriage, let's say, people marry for partnership and for companionship. So how do you deal with the issue of isolation or loneliness, for example?
It's really just an experience living.
30 years ago, it was much easier for a Catholic woman to imagine the life of a Sister of St. Joseph of Hamilton. She wore a habit, and you would get to know her as your teacher or as a nurse in one of the 4 hospitals in the Hamilton Diocese founded by the sisters. Today she wears the dress of the day and can be identified by those in the know by a simple Sister of St. Joseph of Hamilton lapel pin. Behind that one simple symbol lies a lifestyle both special and ordinary that could have a great attraction for someone already feeling a call to serve God's people. It's a life the sisters want others to know more about.
When I started my journey with my family and friends, had no idea what I was getting into. I think we have to let people know that we keep our friends from the past and that they're still part of our life.
There are people who do live individually within an apartment setting. We have sisters who live in groups of 2s or 3s. I live in a house of 5, and then there are the larger communities. No matter where we are, even the sisters that live individually have a commitment to meet with them on a regular basis for sharing.
There are difficulties too. Sometimes you're just too tired or you're too bogged down, you can't be bothered sharing. But we have the motivation to try to iron those things out, to talk to each other about misunderstandings or whatever, and to come back to unity, right within our own home. That's important to us.
Let us remember Joseph, whose name we bear.
Dear Colleen, trusting in the love of Jesus who has called you, proclaim your vows to the Lord.
Loving God, you have called me to live life abundantly. I, Sister Colleen Lashmar, make the perpetual vows of religious chastity, poverty, and obedience, according to the Constitution of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Hamilton. I make this profession in the hands of our General Superior, Sister Teresita.
And now, Colleen, on behalf of all of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Hamilton, congratulations. Thank you.
The process of becoming a Sister of St. Joseph of Hamilton is lengthy and runs through a number of stages leading up to the profession of final vows. Throughout several years, candidates discover just exactly how the sisters work, pray, study, and have fun. They discover the history and mission of the sisters and whether they fit in. Most of all, they learn about the sisters' charism of unity and reconciliation and what that implies for their coming lives as Sisters of St. Joseph of Hamilton.
We speak about our charism of unity and reconciliation as something that's not just in ourselves as sisters, but it's in many people.
When you're dealing with anger, there are lots of
that desire for bringing people together, for networking, for building bridges instead of building walls.
Good morning, Anne. How are you today?
A sign that a person may be interested in living out the charism of unity, as we call it, is that they have this desire to bring things together in their work and all these other places that they meet people.
They wouldn't let me come back.
This can be done in a religious community like ours.
You ever get lonely?
Yeah, sure.
That movie, Dead Man Walking, it's a story of a Sister of St. Joseph working with people who are on death row. She is with the man who's dying, and she says, "Look at me, and I will be the face of love for you." And to me, that is one of the aspects of our charism, is how do we be the face of love for other people, that unconditional love, inclusive love for others.
What's the difference between the way you felt if you loved someone before, like someone special in your life, and the way you love God? What is the difference?
We understand that you go out and you talk about love and God, but what exactly are you trying to do?
There are so many needs in our world, as you all know, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's good for you to know what we do as a community, that we pool our gifts and we do try to meet as many needs as we can. So it'll be delightful. There are all kinds of different ways of praying. So when I talk to the person and I discover, well, they enjoy nature. They look outside and they recognize the Lord in the gentle breeze, like Kings 19. Well, it might be in creation, or it could be listening to music. Whatever it is, it's their relationship with God.
Before I entered the community, I worked in factory work. For a long time, I didn't think I would be acceptable, or I didn't have enough education. We need to encourage women that work in factories or unskilled positions, there is a place for them to develop their spiritual life, and that they can make a difference.
There are many poor, unemployed, who are discouraged and dejected. So what do? They watch television. And they see images of life that really would just put them down further, or encourage them to do things that would make their life even worse. So we really need artists and technicians who know how to make the kind of television and movie productions that would really build up hope and joy in the world and reasons for living and hoping.
My concern is what kind of education is happening in schools, in the Catholic schools, around vocation education. Not just for religious communities, but how do we assist young people, youth, to come to what is their vocation in life? And thank you very much, and we'll see you again, hopefully.
Thank you for making me a part of this discussion group.
Thank you for coming.
I learned that sisters actually are real people.
Because we've all felt that time that we're missing something, and I just found that interesting of how you came to that decision.
Maybe later on in life we may feel the same way.
It's very easy to see why you became a sister and why you guys have that special gift.